Who are you? What's your name?
My name's Matt Weber, and I'm one of the co-founders of Table Grace Ministries and the chef here at Table Grace Cafe. I'm one of the co-founders, and actually heard about the community cafe concept from some college kids that I worked with several years ago that had been on a spring break trip to Denver, and they visited a restaurant there called Same Cafe, so all may eat, SAME, and my wife and I had already incorporated as a nonprofit to do hunger outreach locally. At the time I was doing personal chef service for single parent families, and when I heard about this community cafe concept I really liked it and thought we should try that in downtown Omaha, and we were fortunate enough to have the support and everything to get it started, and it's been six years now since we've been open.
So how long has Table Grace been open then?
So Table Grace Cafe has been open, it'll be 6 years in the spring, and we incorporated as Table Grace Ministries in 2008, so we were operating out of our church kitchen for the first few years as an organization before we opened Table Grace Cafe.
So what do you appreciate about Table Grace? Like, what's the one thing that stands out?
I think the biggest thing is providing a place for cross-cultural, cross-boundary interaction and community building, and providing what I refer to as non-toxic charity. So charity that does not enable but empowers, and instead of working for people, we're working with people, and going with the idea of accompaniment, and we actually create a level playing field here in terms of a socioeconomic equality, because everyone who walks through our door has the ability to be generous in their own way. Generosity doesn't have to translate into a specific dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
So people could be generous with their time or their talents. We have art in our space that's been donated by people. We have projects around here that have been done, all volunteer. So generosity can happen in a lot of different ways, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. And it really gives people a sense of dignity and purpose when they have the opportunity to do that.
Why would you want people to come here?
I think that in the words of one of our former staff and patrons, we're really participating in a paradigm shift in what we try to accomplish here every single day. We're contributing to a collective consciousness in our community that's really about it's about generosity, it's about cooperation, it's about working with each other, and just being aware of the needs that are right in our backyard. A lot of times we spring to action when there's an emergency,
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's a natural disaster or whatever, people spring to action, but there's people in crisis all around us every single day, and Table Grace helps us be aware of that, and it starts with relationships, and so that's why our volunteer program, when people come in and they don't have money, we invite them to volunteer. That's not only giving them a chance to contribute and giving us the help we need to get stuff done, but it's the starting point of a relationship, and once we're in a relationship, then we really care and we really want to help each other. So
Speaking of the community, why is Table Grace good for it?
Food waste. So we live in this country of abundance. We live in this country where everything's disposable and everything's at our fingertips all the time. You can go to a store and buy just pretty much anything you would ever really need, and there's always more. And you can throw it away and you can buy a new one. And food is kind of that way too. Like we can get fresh strawberries from California without even thinking about it. And so there's dumpsters full of food in this town that would be thrown away every single day if it weren't for places like Table Grace that are putting good use to it. And when we have people that are struggling to find money to buy a meal, why would we not provide them with that food that's perfectly useful?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we do. We get a lot of food donated. 80-90% of the food we use here has been donated by places like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, and we put that to good use and make it into really nice meals for people. So Food waste is a big one, and we provide job experience. So we have a 10-day volunteer program for folks in transition, and if people need to fill a gap in their work history, they can come here and get their foot in the door. If they work for us for 10 days and fulfill a schedule, then we act as their most recent place of work. On the resume, we act as a reference for them. They can go out and interview for jobs, and their potential employers can call us and we'll vouch for their dependability, employability. So that's another thing that we do. And again, just providing authentic community, cross-cultural, cross-boundary interaction, leveling the socioeconomic playing field, providing good, healthy food. I think we all function better when we eat healthy versus when we eat crap. So it's providing good, healthy meals too.
All right. So on the food subjects, that's like the most important part. What do you think of it? Like, is it great? Is it awesome? Because the pictures look fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I have my hand in it almost every day, so of course I'm biased in that. But we make things from scratch whenever possible. Everything else, like the soups and the pizza dough, we still make from scratch every single day. It's our recipe, so we know exactly what's in it. And so it's just that quality, it's attention. Everything's fresh because we work in small batches. We have a small menu, so it's pizza, salad, and soup, and there's only 2 varieties of each. So we're always have like a new soup and a new pizza flavor every single day. So for our regulars, that's good because they can always look forward to something a little bit different. But it's also good because it's fresh and it's scratch made and high quality. So.
All right. What do you think about the staff, and what do you try to convey through your staff to your patrons?
I mean, radical hospitality is one thing. You know, we live in a culture of like, what's in it for me, you know, sort of thing. And instead of that, it's more like, what can we do for you? And what can you do for you and for us and for your community? So it's really like, this is a place where we can really do amazing things together. We can really create a positive environment, positive energy, good, healthy. It's all about being healthy, not only in what we eat, but how we interact. And hospitality is huge, and we expect a certain level of behavior and interaction here too. I mean, it's a challenge to have a dining room where you have a suit and a tie sitting next to a homeless person. I mean, people really either, if they find themselves here and they weren't planning on it, that's a big challenge. And we want this to feel like a nice cafe. We don't want it to feel like a prison courtyard or a shelter cafeteria. Those are completely different cultural environments. So we want people to interact on a way that is comfortable across those boundaries. And so, you know, hospitality, respect, welcoming, participation, accompaniment, all of those things.